Oh, there we go. I was muted for half of a second. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Oh, shoot, I just realized I did not turn my light on. Hold on. Let me do that. There we go. Much better lit. Much better lit. How are you all doing today? It is a Thursday, like every Thursday. Let me see. Let me catch up with the chat real quick. I'm seeing Jose Fernandez, Aussie Dragoon, Aiden Vaughn, Seth, Sajif Tricks, Danny, Master Sanders, all in the chat. How are y'all doing? I hope you're having a wonderful day. Maddie, do you have any ideas about when the Stas timeline is coming? I am not even working on that right now. It's gonna be a while. We've got everything timeline and Will It Canon is wrapped up in our ongoing channel storyline, and it's going to be some time before we even get around to that, because of the fact that we've got specific places we want to go with the story. We have at least seven more story videos before we get around to a Superman animated series timeline, and that's not saying we're getting to the Superman animated series timeline after those, like directly after those 7 videos. It's gonna be some point after then. Let me see. I'm seeing let's see, Demon, Crazy Duplicate, Alexandra Tiffer. Hey, how are y'all doing? Sorry for missing the last one. That's okay. We missed you too. Just finished watching your drunk DCEU experience. Oh yeah, that was a blast. I feel like that's the video coming out on Sunday. If you're a patron, the video's already out for you. But if you're not a patron, it's gonna take a minute. But I feel like that video starts off kind of seeming as if it's just me drunkenly rambling to myself, because Sissy, for a while, my fiance, was very self-conscious about talking through the movies, and I think once we hit like Justice League and Aquaman, she started to be a lot more comfortable with it. So it's a slow start, but it gets really good, and it's a lot of fun after you get past those like first 5 minutes or so. I may leave early because I've got therapy in an hour. I feel that. I've got to pick up Sissy from work in an hour, so it's you know, we're gonna try to rush through these things. I'm just trying to keep up with y'all real quick. Nice hair. Well, thank you, Ugo, or Hugo. Hello, Wowie. The birthday. Everybody say happy birthday to Wowie. It is their birthday today. What's your opinion of the new DC animated movie universe? I haven't watched all of the movies yet. I just finally got around to Justice Society World War II, and that was a blast. I'm looking forward to sitting down and watching Long Halloween, but I've been trying to catch up on My Hero Academia the past couple days, so I haven't gotten it to it yet. I like how you got everything wrong in the Aquaman part. It do be that way. Am I a fan of Batman 2004? I have only watched like 1 episode. I'm gonna turn my fan on. It might catch some noise on the microphone, but it's hot in here. But anyway, yeah, I've only seen 1 episode of Batman, or The Batman. So I probably should go back and visit it at some point. It's on my list. It's been on my list for a while, but it's gonna take some time. But I'm hopping over to this because, like I said, I gotta pick up Sissy from work in about an hour, so we gotta get through these chapters. So I'm gonna just start reading, and you all can feel free to follow along like we usually do. I'll be taking notes for canonicity, timeline breakdown, all that kind of fun stuff. So yeah, let's hop on in. Lex Luthor felt a certain rush of satisfaction as he watched his attractive, dark-haired underling. Oh, I guess I should probably catch you up for those who missed out last time. It's about a couple months after Secret Origins. The Injustice gang has already come together. Jean is feeling very, I guess, out of his depth. Doesn't feel like they belong on Earth. And Wonder Woman's like, hey, let's go to a play. Let's you know, go hang out at this play. Maybe it'll help you feel better. And Jean doesn't understand plays because it's people acting like they feel a certain way without actually feeling those things, and it doesn't make sense. And the Injustice Gang is here. Now, to quote the living legend himself, you gotta go fast. That's true. Alright, so now that we're caught up, Lex Luthor felt a certain rush of satisfaction as he watched his attractive dark-haired underling attack the northern wall of Sirius Labs with a violent energy bolt. But then, Star Sapphire wasn't just any hired criminal. The jewel she wore in her M-shaped mask could emit a beam of uncanny force and precision, enough to slice up a diamond, shred an armored tank, or, as in this case, poke a hole through foot-thick reinforced concrete. "You go, girl," said Copperhead, the fanged thief in scaly golden garb, who had slithered around the building seeking out security cameras. "Just get us in," said the Shade, dressed all in black with a top hat and dark glasses. It's been so long since I've watched the Injustice Gang. Injustice Gang as in the Evil Clones way. Okay. I won't call you dumb, but if you wanna self-identify, I won't stop you. It's been so long since I've watched their episodes that like I can't think of like the voices that I need to even try to do. Hey Maddie, sorry I'm late. I am Maddie. I don't get the joke. "Just get us in," said the Shade, dressed all in black with a top hat and dark glasses. The tone of his voice indicated that he was unimpressed with Star Sapphire's power, but then he had blinded all those security cameras with a versatile body of darkness that only he could command. As Luthor and the rest of the Injustice Gang looked on, Star Sapphire's beam dug deeper into the wall, creating the beginnings of an entrance for them. But before she could get very far, one of her teammates made a sound of disgust and lumbered forward. "Grundy tired of waiting," he growled, his ghostly pale features contorting with frustration. Then he drew himself up to his full 9-foot height, raised his boulder-like fist, and began pounding at the wall as if it were no more than a punching bag. As dust and debris started to fly about, Star Sapphire backed off and shot a look at Luthor, who smiled. He liked it when the members of his gang felt compelled to compete with each other. It kept them all sharp. And he needed them as sharp as knives if they were to carry out their mission that night. He needed them at the absolute top of their game. After all, Luthor had a score to settle, first with Superman, and then with the entire Justice League. Once he had been the wealthiest, most powerful man in the magnificent city of Metropolis, but it wasn't just good business sense. I gotta actually... Oh, no, there it goes. Wait. What? It went the wrong way. I hit the right button and it went left. It wasn't just good business sense that had raised him to that level. It was his penchant for bribes, threats, and other shady dealings that enabled him to crush his competitors and squeeze his suppliers. For a long time, the public had been blissfully unaware of Luthor's unsavory practices, and there was no reason the situation couldn't have gone on that way forever. Then, Superman had shown up, his red cape fluttering heroically behind him as he soared among the spires of Metropolis. He captured the imagination of everyone who saw or even heard of him, and all of a sudden, the great and powerful Luthor was playing second fiddle in the city he was supposed to own. But that wasn't the worst part of having the big blue Boy Scout around, because Superman, with his X-ray vision and his ability to go where native Earthlings could not, began to discover the seamy underbelly of Luthor's financial empire. And having discovered it, he had embarked on a mission to do something about it. Little by little, the Man of Steel started to make life difficult for Luthor's people, catching them in criminal acts and getting them thrown into prison. It seemed to Luthor that his enemy was gradually working his way to the top, that it wouldn't be long before Superman found a way to bag Luthor as well. The Injustice Gang was just Luthor and his unamazing not friends, true. I think one of them is British. Is it Shade? Is Shade British? Copperhead was the one who poisoned Batman, almost killing him. Yes. Let's see. Solomon Grundy born on a Tuesday. Something like that. But Luthor hadn't made himself one of the richest men on Earth by accepting defeat. Rather than face the prospect of losing the game, he changed the rules. Fortunately, one of Luthor's employees had given him the tool he needed to bring Superman to his knees, a tiny chunk of green glowing mineral called kryptonite, which had once been a part of Superman's native world. The rock's radiation affected Superman violently, causing him great pain and stripping him of his titanic strength. In fact, If he was exposed to it for too long, it would kill him. Shade is a Brit, which means he's the evilest one. It's true. Shade is British in the comics, not so much in the show. Okay, that's what I thought. Oh, hey, Miss Martian and Amy just showed up. Hey, how are y'all doing? You only missed a couple pages. It's all right. You haven't missed too much. Let's see. Titanic strength. And that's what Luthor meant to do. Kill him. But he didn't know when he would have the opportunity to spring his surprise on Superman, so he carried the chunk of kryptonite with him everywhere he went, waiting for just the right moment. And in time, it came. Oh, how it came. Almost done, Grundy rumbled. I was gonna make a came joke, but, you know. It's just, it's sitting there, it's sitting there. It's the low-hanging fruit. When we could make a joke about Grundy rumbling instead. I'm not gonna make the joke, though. Y'all can figure out a joke about rumbling yourselves. Lex hates his friends. Also true. Star Sapphire's a British girl boss, Copperhead's a sleazy carrot, and the Shade is a snarky realist. That's about how I remember, but I am not gonna try to do like a British lady voice. Currently negotiating for Cyberman figures on eBay while having. Oi, that'll do it. Can I get a hell yeah? Hell yeah! There we go. There's your hell yeah. Realistically, kryptonite should have killed Superman by now. Maybe. Then with one last assault on the wall, he cracked it open, creating an entrance into the facility big enough for Grundy himself, if he hunkered down low enough. The giant turned to a frowning Star Sapphire. See, Grundy's way much faster. Whatever you say, she said with a sneer in her British accent. Damn it, they're trying to get me to do a British lady voice. How do British ladies sound? Toit toit cheerio, something like that. I don't have the power. Channel your inner philosophy too. Oh God, no, I don't know that I can do that. I can't. As much as I would love to be her, I can't be her. Let me see. Whatever you say. Is it something like that? Whatever you say. Like just really, really soft. I feel like Britishness like has a rough quality to it by default, but like you're right, Philosophy Tube does have a really soft voice. And when I say you're right, I mean me. I'm talking to myself. Pretend to be Missy in Doctor Who. It's been so long since I've watched any Doctor Who that I can't even remember who Missy is. We're already getting sidetracked, as I said that I have to blow through these chapters to pick Sissy up on time. But that's okay. Oh, this woman. I don't remember her too much. But I remember her existing. Oh, well now I know that she also died. So, there it goes. But Doctor Who, anyone can die and then come back, because it's all wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey. There is no British in your heart. It's true, I don't have British in my heart. I'm not a colonizer. I mean, well, I guess like by the transitive property of you know, lineage, I am in technicality a colonizer, but not in the way that, you know, that the Brits are. You get the fake Brit pass. Let's see, where was I? For a long time, the public had been blissfully unaware of Luthor's unsavory practices, and there was no reason the situation couldn't have gone on that way forever. Then Superman had shown up, his red cape fluttering heroically behind him as he soared among the spires of Metropolis. He captured the imagination. Wait. Nope. I already read that entire page. Almost done, Grundy rumbled. The giant turned, okay, to a frown. Wait, how did I end up? Okay, I ended up accidentally taking the page back. Whatever you say, she said with a sneer in her British accent. Then she swooped through the opening he had made, the gem in her mask pulsing with an eerie violet light. Luther went in after her, with Grundy the Shade and Copperhead in his wake, but it wasn't long before the snake-like one had slithered past him. After all, no one was quicker than Copperhead. As Shade created clouds of shadow to mask their passage through the facility, Luther had activated the filament-thin headset he was wearing. As soon as Sapphire and Copperhead found the device they were after, he wanted to know about it, and they would find it. He had no doubt of that. Then, with the device firmly in hand, or as you SpongeBob fans might say, he firmly grasped it. Luther would have his revenge on the Justice League. He recalled the way they had deceived him as if it were yesterday. He remembered the anguish they had cost him, and the shame, most of all, the shame. Luther had lured Superman to his penthouse office high above Metropolis. Then he had produced the glowing green chunk of kryptonite and watched the mighty Man of Steel fold like a fragile house of cards. In his glee, he had boasted of bribes he had made and to whom he had offered to them. Why not? He hadn't thought Superman would last more than a few minutes longer. But Luther had been tricked. It wasn't Superman he had exposed to the alien mineral. It was the shape-changing Martian Manhunter, to whom kryptonite was just another rock. Excuse me. Then, Batman and the Green Lantern had shown up, looking rather pleased with themselves. They had the elusive Lex Luthor dead to rights, or so they thought. As always, Luther had a trick up his sleeve. As the Justice Leaguers closed in on him, he pulled a remote control device from his pocket and scattered his enemies with gunfire from a flying attack vehicle. Then he boarded the vehicle and took off. Moments later, he blasted the real Superman with a couple of missiles. For a moment, it seemed that his escape was ensured. He would go free after all. Then he was racked by the worst pain he had ever felt in his life. Unable to pilot his vehicle, he was apprehended. But that wasn't the worst part of it, because that pain had turned out to be a symptom of kryptonite poisoning. The rest of his having carried out, the result of his having carried around the chunk of mineral for so long. To keep himself alive and able to function, he had to wear a high-tech metal vest. It was uncomfortable, but without it, the poisoning would eat away at him from within. Luther had been humbled and imprisoned. The Justice League probably thought they had heard the last of him. If so, they were wrong. Dead wrong. He had been planning his revenge on them for months now, filling his days and his nights with schemes after scheme. After all, he didn't want merely to defeat the heroes of the Justice League, or even to destroy them. He wanted to humble them, the way he had been humbled. But how could one go about humbling a Man of Steel, or an Amazon princess, or a man with a ring that could do anything he asked of it? These weren't normal people. They were powerful, each in a different way. It would be devilishly difficult to make any headway against them by attacking them individually, and when they stood as a group, it was virtually impossible. They were just too strong. But after a while, Luther had seen a way to bring down every last member of the League, because as impressive as their physical talents might be, there was one part of them that was oh so vulnerable: their minds. And if Luther obtained what he was after that night, the minds of the Justice League would be his to control. With that encouraging thought to comfort him, he followed the trail of security doors left ruined in Star Sapphire's wake, and imagined the taste of revenge. Alright, sweet. So that's chapter 3. There were so many spoilers for Misty there. It's okay. I have bad memory, so I will forget them by the time I go back around to Doctor Who. She was great in Sabrina as well. I'll take your word for it. I haven't watched Sabrina, but Sissy was watching it as it was coming out. Let's see. I'm not British and I give a pass. I'm not sure you could do that, but with his big meaty claws. True. The hospital scene where Luther has cancer, but instead he's paralyzed, and Solomon Grundy is trying to get him to firmly grasp kryptonite. Firmly grasp it, Luthor. Something like that. I can't get the Mark Hamillness of the Grundy voice down. Batman is a master of mind tricks. Inspected the idea of love in Cheetah's mind. True. Okay, so we got a couple things to note here. God, where was this book? It's like, no, it's not book 3. Is it book? A League of His Own. There we go. Book 7. Chapter 3. So we've got Lex Luthor. We already had the Shade last one. Star Sapphire, Copperhead, and Grundy. That's it. That's the one we were looking for. They're all there. See, Green Lantern was mentioned, though, you know, it's flashback fodder, but still mentioned nonetheless. I don't know if he'll show up in the show itself, but so be it. Locations. We didn't really have any new locations. I mean, we had like the flashback of like Lex Luthor's penthouse, but otherwise nothing really. In-show events. Calls back to Lex getting kryptonite. As seen in A Little Piece of Home. Flashback to Injustice for All. And then Injustice for All took place months ago, it said. Batman using his underappreciated Playboy skills on Cheetah. True. I wonder if that's probably the reason why she's not here right now. I can't wait to see the ultimate final Willet canon on these books, where Shelby the Smooth Collie will be revealed to all. God, it's ridiculous to think of Shelby the Smooth Collie, because like that was like years ago now. That was like 2 years ago. That was in my old apartment, and I've been living in this apartment for 2 years. So it's a large gap of time, and yet it feels like it was just yesterday. The first thing Jean Jones saw as he swooped toward the Sirius Labs complex was the gaping hole in one of the facility's concrete walls. Looks like they left a trail for us, said Wonder Woman, who was flying beside him, her wavy dark hair streaming majestically behind her. So it would seem, said Jean. Under normal circumstances, the speed of their passage would have snatched their words away too quickly for them to be understood. However, their communication devices permitted them to converse freely, and if they hadn't, Jean could always have resorted to his power of telepathy. Put in an offer for the Cybermen. Good luck. Good luck. I believe in you. And your anxiety isn't built for negotiation. I know how that goes. But, you know, the worst they can say is no. Swooping through the unsightly opening, the Injustice Gang had made Jean leveled off and led the way through what appeared to be a series of laboratories. Each one was filled with an unruly array of dark shadows, and each one had its door conveniently blasted open. Both the blast patterns and the darkness looked familiar. The work of Star Sapphire, Wonder Woman said in Jean's ear. And the Shade, he added. He had just flown into his 5th laboratory in a row when he realized he had made a serious mistake. Too late, Jean saw the immense pale paw that reached out and grabbed him by the cape, nearly snapping his neck in the process. Grundy, he told himself as he was reeled in like a reluctant sea bass. They're doing a lot of things in here that are just making my head go to SpongeBob. Sea bass, the firmly grasp it, right there where they said like majestic whatever, like wasn't that the name of the seahorse? This is now a SpongeBob book. He keeps flying into laboratories. Just phase out, Jean. True. Fortunately, Wonder Woman was right behind him. Before the giant could pound Jean into the laboratory floor, the Amazon princess veered to her right and swept Grundy's tree trunk legs out from under him. That had to be like a really quick movement of everything that was going on. Because like if Jean like wasn't able to phase faster than like Jesus, probably wouldn't be perceivable to the eye. Better than flying into Labradors. True. What if Jonathan found a small piece of kryptonite and are you talking John Stewart? Jonathan Kent. In his ring. I don't know anything about his ring. Is this a comics thing, I assume? Because I'm not very up to date on comics. I'm trying to keep up with like the Milestone relaunch stuff and, you know, obviously the DCAU stuff, but otherwise I haven't really been even picking anything up. As he went tumbling end over end, Jean pulled his cape free. Then he turned to face his mountainous adversary. With Wonder Woman's help, he hoped to make short work of Grundy. Then they could continue their pursuit of Grundy's criminal cohorts. But that notion was dispelled when Shade's black fog spit out another member of the Injustice Gang, the fanged bolt of lightning called Copperhead. That left Jean to face the snarling Grundy on his own. But as strong as the Martian was, he wasn't as strong as Luthor's giant henchman. He would have to make up for that deficit with his other talents. As Grundy charged him, Jean turned his body immaterial, making it possible for the monster to run right through him and crash into the wall behind him. The building was still shaking with the impact when Jean whirled and turned solid again. As Grundy struggled to regain his bearings, Jean flew at him as fast as he could and slammed his fist into Grundy's jaw. The giant sprawled into the wall again and slumped to the floor, stunned. But Jean knew what his adversary wouldn't be sitting there for long, not with his inhuman store of vitality. With that thought in mind, Jean looked around for Wonder Woman, hoping to give her a hand with Copperhead. But before he could find her among the shifting shadows in the room, he heard the rasp of familiar laughter. It sounded like someone sharpening a knife. Shade, thought Jean, the member of Luthor's gang who could command the darkness with his walking stick. Unfortunately, the Martian couldn't see where Shade was hiding, and before he knew it, an amorphous. Bleh, I was trying to say like amphibious, but that's amorphous. Before he knew it, an amorphous wave of shadow was rising up, threatening to engulf him. Jean knew from personal experience what could happen if he let the wave trap him. The Injustice Gang could strike at him a dozen different ways, and he would be unable to see them coming, much less defend himself. You always gotta defend yourself when the Injustice Gang is coming. If Jean wasn't able to phase faster than Jesus, Lex Luthor's ultimate plan is to find the Flying Dutchman treasure. This book is based on a real treasure map. I could see it. Wedding ring. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I don't know that part of John Kent yet. Nobody can phase faster than Jesus, unless Super Jesus. What if Jonathan Kent accidentally murdered Superman? I feel like he'd have a lot of guilt about it. It'd be like Heroes in Crisis, and people would be mad. Since when is Copperhead a speedster? Did I miss that somewhere? I don't think it's mentioned on screen anywhere. So, I guess, like, just last chapter, they did mention him being faster than the rest of the Injustice Gang. They said nobody was faster than him. I don't know if that includes Flash or not, though. Simple. Wendy and John are holding the idiot ball. Gotta head out. Take it easy, Aussie Dragoon. We'll see you next time. Again, he heard Shade's mocking laughter, followed by his razor-edged voice. What's the matter? Didn't you have shadows back on Mars? Jean tried to escape the encroaching darkness, but it was expanding too fast, stretching from the floor to ceiling. There was only one way out, and he took it. Becoming immaterial again, he dropped through the floor into the room below. The array of equipment in it indicated that Sirius used it as a storage compartment. Safe from Shade's shadows, which couldn't follow Jean through solid matter, he flew from one end of the storage room to the other. Then he came up through the floor again. As soon as his eyes emerged, he caught sight of Shade. The villain was facing away from him, still focusing on the part of the lab where... where Jean had been, not where he was. Taking full advantage of the element of surprise, Jean plowed into Shade hard enough to knock him out. With Shade hurtling headfirst into his own web of darkness, Jean looked about again for Wonder Woman. This time he saw her among the shadows. As Jean had feared, the Amazon was fighting for her life, using her bracelets to deflect Star Sapphire's unrelenting energy beams. But where was Copperhead? A moment later, Jean got his answer, as Copperhead leapt onto Wonder Woman's back. The Amazon barely flinched, continuing to ward off Star Sapphire's blasts. But if Copperhead raked Wonder Woman's flesh with his venom-filled claws, she would be paralyzed, maybe even killed. Hoping to prevent that, Jean went rocketing across the room and slammed into Copperhead. Quick as the villain was, he was able to avoid part of the impact. Still, it sent him twisting through the air, where he couldn't do Wonder Woman any harm. Jean went after Copperhead a second time, hoping to press his advantage. Then something hammered him from behind and flung him end over end into a massive shadow. The Martian threw his hands up to protect himself, but it didn't help. He hit what must have been a wall with bone-rattling force, the impact driving the wind out of him and sending him plummeting to the floor of the lab. Damn, Shade throwing shade on Jean. True. Hello back to you, Mercy Guyan. Jean Jones, master of plowing. Also true. Do you want to know how I got this shadow? I was hoping Wendy would use Copperhead's body to shield her from Sapphire's blast. That could have been neat. Floor of the lab. Okay. As Jean lay there, fighting off the darkness at the edges of his vision and trying hard to drag air into his lungs, he glimpsed the cause of his trouble. The purple and black figure of Star Sapphire was coming at him through the shadows like a guided missile, clearly intent on finishing him off. There's a lot of, at least mildly suggestive language in this book. But if Star Sapphire wants to finish Jean off, good on her. Let her do her thing. But before she could reach her target, a glittering gold line snared her and pulled her sideways. Wonder Woman's lasso, Jean thought, and not a moment too soon. For the time being, he had been saved from Star Sapphire. However, he was still vulnerable to her teammates. As if to underscore the observation, a pair of immense hands grabbed Jean from behind and raised him aloft. He didn't have time to turn around to know that it was a recovered Grundy who had gotten hold of him, or that the giant was about to tear him limb from Martian limb. Jean's only chance was to become immaterial, but altering his density took intense concentration, and he had his hands full at the moment, just hanging on to consciousness. To make matters worse, Jean saw Wonder Woman pinwheel across the room, driven by a tight purple energy beam. He felt the urge to go to his teammate's aid, but he couldn't even clear his head enough to help himself. This is bad, he thought, very bad. Then Jean heard a cry at the far end of the room. Some might call that a far cry, but she's a girl boss for it, true. Let's see. Then Jean heard a cry at the far end of the room, and to his surprise, the shade went hurtling past him as if he had been shot from a circus cannon. Obviously, y'all want to know if this book will canon? Oh, it's right here. Right here. This book canons. There is a canon. Creating note. This book canons. Confirmed. Obviously, someone was still battling Luther's gang. But who? He had seen Wonder Woman go flying in a different direction entirely, and what kind of security guard could have done that to Shade? Jean didn't understand what had just happened. Then he saw a familiar red and blue figure tear through the roiling darkness in pursuit of the Shadowcaster, and understanding dawned. It was Superman, the last son of a dying world. After coming to Earth as a baby, he had developed powers unrivaled in the history of mankind. The cavalry has arrived, Jean told himself, quoting one of the Flash's favorite sayings. A moment later, Grundy made a muffled cry and dropped Jean to the floor. Turning, the Martian saw the bright green globe that had descended over the giant's head, effectively cutting off his air supply. What's more, Jean knew where the globe had come from, even though he couldn't see its source. After all, who but a Green Lantern could have fashioned such an item on a moment's notice? But Grundy wasn't one to be imprisoned for long. Digging under the edges of the green globe with his thick, powerful fingers, also known as his big, meaty claws, he pried it off his head. Then, with a roar of rage, he tore the energy construct in half. The cavalry may have arrived, but it was clear to Jean that the battle wasn't over, and with his equilibrium returning, he might make a difference. His chest still heaving with breath after wheezing breath, he pushed himself to his feet and looked for a chance to help. Just then, another villain shot past him, slithering from shadow to obscuring shadow. It was Copperhead, unmistakable in his golden scales. But he wasn't on the attack, not if the thoughts in his head were any indication. Copperhead's only goal, it seemed, was to get out of the place. Jean might not have had enough wind to call out to his teammates, but he could still communicate with them telepathically. "The gang is escaping," he told them. Gotta go now. Sorry. See it. Take it easy, crazy duplicate. Willett Circus Cannon. Oh, we're explaining Superman's backstory again. I mean, you know, how many times do we gotta see the Waynes get shot or Uncle Ben get shot before we understand it? It can't be true. No Star Wars quote. Please tell me this is leading up to an appearance of Ringmaster. Hold on. Who is Ringmaster? Oh, there's not supposed to be a V there. Yeah. Yo, I would be down for this. I would be so down for this. This is just Oh, were they in... No, that was probably like the Ringmaster at Haley Circus. That's probably not like Ringmaster. Okay. I would be down for this to happen. Ringmaster's a recent creation, Mark Russell's Wonder Twins. Oh, hold on. Is there a different Ringmaster? Ah, this version. Looks a lot cleaner. I feel like the other one would be a lot more goofy and fun. Can't stop thinking about Music Meister, the song from Brave and the Bold. Hey, that's a good song. But before any of his colleagues could act on his warning, Shade's separate pools of darkness expanded and grew together. In a heartbeat, the room had been utterly blacked out. It wasn't the first time the League had been victimized by Shade's power, but that didn't make it any easier to contend with. The gloom Jean found himself in was so thick, so impenetrable, that even Superman's powerful X-ray vision would be useless against it. And it wasn't just hard for the League to see in it, it was hard to move in it, as if the darkness actually possessed weight and substance and inertia. Somewhere in the room, Hawkgirl was furiously beating her wings, trying to push the blackness back, but wherever she was, Jean couldn't see her. He could only hear her efforts and feel her frustration. It was what all of them were feeling, Jean included. By the time the darkness lost its effectiveness and light began to show through it, Luther and his henchmen were long gone. Suddenly, Jean felt a pair of hands on him, but they weren't nearly as big as Grundy's big meaty claws, and the mind directing them wasn't nearly as primitive. "You alright, bud?" asked the Flash, his voice coming from just behind John's shoulder. Jean nodded. I am fine, but I wish I had kept Luthor and his gang from getting away. It's all right, said Superman, emerging from a pocket of darkness. Your first priority was to stop them from stealing whatever it was they came for, and in that respect, you seem to have succeeded. To underline his point, he held out a cylindrical device about the size of a personal computer. It was made of what looked like black plastic, with twisted batches of red and blue cable running along its flanks. Looks mean, said the Flash. What is it? I don't know, said Superman. But Luthor did, said John Stewart, alighting in their midst. And I'll bet he had plans for it. Until we threw a monkey wrench in them, Flash noted. Well, said Wonder Woman as she and Hawkgirl came out of another receding patch of darkness, at least we can be thankful for that. Jean knew she was right. He should have been thankful, but he also knew that Luthor wasn't one to accept defeat gracefully. One way or another, he would come after his objective again, and when he did, the Justice League would be ready for him. Oh damn, we're already through chapter 4. Let's see. We got... I guess Superman was mentioned last chapter, so I should probably put him there. So we got Superman and Green Lantern was more than mentioned now, so I'm taking that off. Hawkgirl, Flash we had already seen before in chapter 1. So I guess really chapter 4 didn't have anything to note. It was more action than anything. We got mention of Earth and Mars again. I guess technically we got a mention of Krypton. I'll give it that much. Krypton mention. But then again, I feel like that came in from last chapter too. So I should probably put it up here with the talk of kryptonite and everything. So I guess that's it for the chapters. I'm gonna catch up with y'all on the chat real quick. Actually, what I'll do, I'm gonna run to the restroom real quick, and then I'll catch up with y'all on chat, and then I'll bounce out of here to get Sissy from work. But yeah, I'm just gonna give y'all a chance to, you know, get some things in the chat for me to respond to. So I will be right back. Oh, there. I had hit the unmute button, but it didn't want to unmute. So now it's unmuted. Let's see. Ringmaster will be a part of the Justice League Infinity Era Injustice Gang. Send tweet. I'd be down for it. That Ringmaster is from Marvel. Oh, okay. There's more. Okay. Marvel's Ringmaster is a pretty good C-lister. Got it. Let's see. He and a supervisor from the LexCon prison and call center were sent by Lex Luthor to help cell phone Sylvia retrieve her Kryptonian cell phone from the Wonder Twins. I've been meaning to read that Wonder Twins run. It looked like it was going to be a lot of fun, and I was just reading so many comics at the time that like I could not keep up with everything, so I didn't even pick it up. John is feeling so weird stuff, man has gone crazy, said Flash. John saying, well, go to the... Huh? Update. My friend is selling a car, and somebody on Facebook offered him $8,500 specifically in a brown paper bag. Hey, get that money. Oh, it's huh? Okay. Well, I believe I've caught up. I've caught up with everything. And now I guess I gotta go pick up Sissy from work. She's gonna be surprised that I'm there a little bit earlier than had already planned. Oh, I didn't realize Penny's here over my shoulder. Hello, baby girl. There you are. Hello. Get those nice little stretches in. Get them in. Get your stretches. Let them all see you stretch. No? You said no stretching today, just the scratches? Oh, you're so good. It's so funny because Sissy hasn't really figured out how to deal with petting Penny on her tummy, because she'll get really weird about it sometimes, and will wanna grab your hand with her claws and everything. Usually when she's in a more playful mood or something, but yeah, and so Sissy usually, whenever she tries to pet the tummy, goes for when she's in a more playful mood. And I'm like, you're not gonna be able to do it right. And Sissy doesn't like playing back when Penny's like that, because obviously the claws hurt, and so then Penny will get mad. You would love that, Wonder Twins. It's not for everyone. I'll have to put it on the list. I've got so many things I need to read. I need to finish. I've got the Fight Club novel is hiding behind my my mirror over there on my little bed stand. And I need to finish that. I started it over vacation, and then once I'm done with that, I'm wanting to pick Sandman back up. I finished the first volume of that, and I've got volumes 2 and 3, but I loved volume 1, so I'm looking forward to going forward on that. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pop out of here and go pick Sissy up. So y'all take care, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you maybe on Saturday. It depends. I was wanting to start doing the Batman Beyond Timeline streams again last Saturday, but Sissy had to work, and so I had to, like, pick her up and stuff like that, wrangle all that, and I just wasn't able to stream. So we'll see what it's like this week. But y'all take care. If you don't see me on Saturday, Sissy and I have Sunday's videos, so you'll get a kick out of that. There's a lot of fun jokes. We're both very drunk watching all the DCEU movies. All right, take it easy. Bye.